True ease in writing comes from art, not chance, as those move easiest who have learned to dance. 'Tis not enough, no harshness gives offence, the sound which must seem an echo to the sense. Soft is the strain when the zephyr gently blows, and the smooth stream in smoother numbers flows. But when loud surges lash the sounding shore, the hoarse, rough verse should like a torrent roar. When Ajax strives some rock's vast weight to throw, the line too labours, and the words move slow. Not so, when swift Camilla scours the plain, flies o'er the unbending corn, and skims along the main. Hear how Timotheus varied lay surprise, and bid alternate passions fall and rise. Hello and welcome to this Oak Tree English poetry reading. This time it's entirely dedicated to Alexander Pope, because his birthday is the 21st of May, a date he shares with Dante Alighieri, who wrote the Divine Comedy. That introductory sonnet was called Sound and Sense. Pope was many things, including a translator. He translated the Iliad and the Odyssey. A poet, a wit, an amateur landscape gardener, and a satirist. He was born in London in 1688, and as we've already said, that was on the 21st of May 1688, in the reign of King James II. This is right in the middle of the whole Catholic, Protestant stuff. His most famous works include The Rape of Locke, The Dunciad, and An Essay on Criticism. The latter gifted to the English language the phrase, "For fools rush in where angels fear to tread," and a couple of others which you're about to hear. This lengthy poem consists of 49 stanzas in 3 parts. I hope you enjoy me reading 2 of these stanzas from the second part to you here. A little learning is a dangerous thing. Drink deep, or taste not the Pierian spring. There shallow draughts intoxicate the brain, and drinking largely sobers us again. Fired at first with what the muse imparts, in fearless youth we tempt the heights of arts. While from the bounded level of our mind, short views we take, nor see the lengths behind. But, more advanced, behold with strange surprise new distant scenes of endless science rise. So pleased at first the towering Alps we try, mount o'er the vales, and seem to tread the sky. The eternal snows appear already past, and the first clouds and mountains seem the last. But those attained we tremble to survey, the growing labours of the lengthened way. The increasing prospect tires our wandering eyes. Hills peep o'er hills, and Alps on Alps arise. And while self-love each jealous writer rules, contending wits become the sport of fools. But still the worst, with most regret commend, for each ill author is as bad a friend. To what base ends and by what abject ways are mortals urged through sacred lust of praise? Ah, ne'er so dire thirst of glory boast, nor in the critic let the man be lost. Good nature and good sense must ever join. To err is human, to forgive divine. Now, Pope sadly contracted tuberculosis of the bone when he was young, which disfigured his spine and purportedly only allowed him to grow to 4 feet 6 inches. He was friends with Jonathan Swift of Gulliver's Travels fame, and also Dr. John Arbuthnot, to whom Epistle to Dr. Arbuthnot was written. After 1718, Pope lived on his 5-acre property at Twickenham by the Thames, where they play rugby today. not in the garden. Well, I don't know, maybe in the garden. Not in the garden, but down the road in the stadium. He cultivated a much-visited garden that contained a grotto and featured the formal characteristics of a French garden and the newer, more natural English landscape style. I think that his ill health and his love of gardens probably inspired this poem. Ode on Solitude. Happy the man whose wish and care a few paternal acres bound, content to breathe his native air in his own ground. Whose herds with milk, whose fields with bread, whose flocks supply him with attire, whose trees in summer yield him shade, in winter fire. Blessed who can unconcernedly find hours, days and years slide soft away, in health of body, peace of mind, quiet by day. Sound sleep by night, study and ease together mixed, sweet recreation, and innocence, which most does please, with meditation. Thus let me live, unseen, unknown, thus unlamented let me die, steal from the world, and not a stone tell where I lie. Both Pope's parents were Catholics. Pope's education was affected by the recently enacted Test Acts, which upheld the status of the established Church of England and banned Catholics from teaching, attending university, voting, and holding public office on penalty of perpetual imprisonment. Pope was taught to read by his aunt and went to Twyford School. He then went on to 2 illegal but tolerated Roman Catholic schools in London. Despite this, Alexander Pope is not to be confused with Pope Alexander, particularly Pope Alexander VI, a particularly unpleasant individual. Our final poem, A Dying Christian to His Soul, was written in 1712 at the desire of Richard Steele, co-founder of The Spectator. In a letter to him on that occasion, Pope says, "You have it, as Cowley calls it, just warm from the brain. It came to me the first moment I waked this morning. Yet you'll see, it was not so absolutely inspiration, but that I had in my head not only the verses of Hadrian, but a fine fragment of Sappho." Here it is. I close with A Dying Christian to His Soul. Vital spark of heavenly flame, quit, oh quit this mortal frame. Trembling, hoping, lingering, flying, oh the pain, the bliss of dying. Cease fond nature, cease thy strife, and let me languish into life. Hark, they whisper, angels say, sister spirit, come away. What is this absorbs me quite, steals my senses, shuts my sight, drowns my spirits, draws my breath? Tell me, O soul, can this be death? The world recedes, it disappears. Heaven opens on my eyes, my ears with sound seraphic ring. Lend your wings, I mount, I fly. O grave, where is thy victory? O death, where is thy sting? Thank you very much for joining me on this brief walk through Alexander Pope's life. I hope you've learned something. I hope you've enjoyed it. Particularly, I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.